Welcome to another episode of Travel Q&A, where you guys ask the questions and we do our best to answer them. First question is from Brianna on YouTube. She wants to know, is it safe for a 20-year-old female to travel alone to Southeast Asia? I think this is the best person to answer that question.
Absolutely. Southeast Asia is actually my favorite area in the world to travel. I've done a lot of traveling there with Siya and by myself. It is the place that is like a second home to me. I just have always felt so comfortable there. It's easy to get around. They're really used to travelers, to tourists. And the majority of travelers that I have met there, like a big majority, like a big percentage, are females in their 20s traveling alone. So it's very safe and there's tons of culture. It's basically the perfect place to go, especially if it's your first trip. And even if it's not your first trip, it's still an incredible place to explore.
Yeah, a lot of these places survive on tourism. So there's lots of businesses, local businesses, people that want to help you out. There's almost too many people that want to help you out. Yeah. So you won't have a problem going and finding a tourism office that you can get advice. They'll help you book shuttles, book flights, book boats, book anything you need. And it's fairly easy to do alone, but you're never really alone. There's a ton of travelers out there.
Tons of travelers head that way. It's one of the most popular areas in the world to be, especially as a solo traveler.
We get asked this question a lot, whether it's safe to travel to these countries. Now, we're from Canada. I've been traveling to, let's say, Thailand, and the local people in Thailand ask me if it's safe to travel within Canada. I feel safe here all the time. But to them, this is foreign, and this is scary. To us, it's very normal. So it's just becoming more accustomed to that culture. Maybe you walk into it and you don't feel like you know everything yet, which you won't. Even if you read all the books, you won't know it. You'll feel different when you get there. You'll be put into a different you when you walk into that country.
No matter where you go in the world, even your own backyard, there are things that can be unsafe. So it's just taking safety precautions, being aware of your surroundings, and when you travel, this part of you that lets you know your gut feeling, basically, and I've talked about this a lot in videos, your gut feeling becomes so much stronger. So as long as you follow that, you're gonna be right. If you have a gut feeling about something, that something's wrong, you shouldn't go to a certain place, you are most likely right. So follow that gut feeling. On YouTube, 18 Hey Brittany asked when we fell in love with travel. You want to answer this one?
Oh, that's a good question. I find now that I love travel from when I was a really little kid. The shows that I watch, even like Indiana Jones, where he's traveling around and he's like seeing the world.
A badass, pretty much.
Just like I noticed, even the books I read were about travel. It was kind of within me before I realized it. And my first big travel trip was in high school. I did a 4-month exchange to Paraguay. Kristen did it a couple of years after.
He inspired me to do it.
And that's when I got a real taste.
And you were 16, yes?
Yeah, I was 16 and I lived in a little village with 2,000 people in Paraguay, and I lived with a local family and they had 4 kids and they kind of took me in as the oldest son. So now all of a sudden I have younger brothers and a new younger sister and like a different mother and father, a new language, new schools, and I was thrown into travel. I remember my first day of school even, I was teaching, I walked into the classroom, the teacher walked out, and I have 30 kids looking at me. I can barely speak Spanish, they don't speak English. I fell in love with it. One moment I will never forget. There was 17 of us from my high school that went to Paraguay. We were all scattered amongst the country. And we met up, maybe 6 or 7 of us met up on the border of Paraguay and Argentina. We said we were going to meet at a hotel on the rooftop and watch sunrise. Now we had all planned this over the phone separately from each other. So me and my friend Josh had to find our way to a bus, figure out how to get to this hotel, all speaking Spanish, which we were like practicing. We made it to the hotel across the country. We found our friends and we watched sunrise over Argentina. Now, while this was happening, I checked my watch and I realized that all my friends back home had to wake up and go to school. And I got this wave of awe.
I just got chills.
Of like this is where I want to be. Like, I want to be watching sunrises over Argentina and not going to math class. School's important, okay? School's very important.
Stay in school, finish
okay?
it.
Finish school.
Travel after, or during, or in between.
Absolutely. But I fell in love with travel, and I feel like it's the best way to spend your time, and it's the best way to spend your money.
100%. Experiences over possessions.
Shireen Khan on Twitter asks, what do we hate when we get to a new destination?
Ooh. Usually I think about all the things I love, because there's so much, but there is one thing that comes to mind. Being hounded by locals trying to sell me something. When I just get to a new place, I just want to settle in and put my bags down and go and explore, and you're just sometimes surrounded by people who are like, buy this, buy this, buy this, or come to this way, let me take you to this hotel, let me take you here. And it can sometimes be aggressive, it can sometimes just be annoying, and especially when you've been traveling for so long, you just want to take a shower and just put your bags down, like I said, and go off and explore a little bit, or you're hungry and you just want to be kind of left alone for that moment, for that time, just so you can get settled in. And sometimes it just doesn't happen. Actually, most of the time it doesn't happen.
Yeah, actually you touched on something, your bags. I hate lugging my bag around for, however long it takes to find an accommodation when we get to a new destination.
Because we don't typically book any places ahead of time. Sometimes we do, but generally we just kind of go to a place and find somewhere.
Yeah, we just land in Singapore and what's happening in Singapore?
Let's go look for a place.
But I hate lugging my bag around. If finding an accommodation takes more than like an hour and we're carrying our heavy backpacks,
Sweating.
that sucks. Yeah, I don't like doing that.
No, me neither. On Twitter, Brie asked the top 3 destinations for students on a budget that we would recommend.
Woo. Okay, that entirely depends on where you are in the world.
Yes.
So
Flight costs.
yeah, flight costs are obviously a part of it.
And a big expense. That's like a lot. That's where a lot of your money will go. So it depends on where in the world you live, first of all.
Yeah, so I guess we can pick one in Central America, one in Europe, and one in Southeast Asia. I would say Peru is inexpensive for a beautiful country to visit.
So diverse. It's so diverse. It has everything to offer.
Yeah, if you want to go from the mountains to the ocean.
To the jungle.
Yeah, everything in between, to lakes and floating islands and crazy villages. Peru's the place to go. It's got rich history, it's got great food, and it's easy to get around, and it is inexpensive. For Europe, I would say
Greece.
Yeah.
Greece is surprisingly not as expensive as people might think. When we were there, for example, we're staying in Santorini. Santorini is that beautiful place where you see the pictures of the white and blue buildings. Absolutely breathtaking. A must visit sometime in your life. And we stayed in a villa. So we had our own kitchens, we could cook our own food, buy our own food, and make meals. We had 2 queen-size beds. We had a balcony with a view. That was spectacular. Incredible sunsets. You could see the incredible blue and white buildings for miles, and it was just, so breathtaking. Very clean, nice washroom and shower, hot water, it was just spotless clean, and the people who owned the place were so nice. And we paid 25 euros a night?
Yeah.
25 euros a night.
Together, right?
Oh, all together, yeah. 25
together.
euros a night. That's so good for Europe. So good for Europe, especially Santorini.
Good for a college student.
I like getting to a destination and searching for a place to stay just when I get there, because then you can ask people and you can bargain depending on if it's high season or low season. And that's when you're going to find the best deals. And also talking to other travelers on your way to the place you're going to, where are they staying? Or meeting up with travelers right when you get there and asking have you been here for a while? Where are you staying? How much are you paying? So it's better to just be in the place and start asking locals, start asking other travelers, and that's how you're gonna find the gems.
Third place I would recommend is Thailand. Thailand, beautiful, cheap, great beaches, great people, great party, great food.
Everything.
Yeah, great everything.
We spent $2 a night to stay in a beach hut. Very basic. On the beach though. Like, with the best view in the world.
Yeah, and that was because of someone we met on the boat ride to the island. Like, we didn't plan it, we didn't research, we just showed up. That's when you're gonna find the best deals. You know what, honestly, a good tip of advice is the best deals will not be in Lonely Planet. People that can afford to be in Lonely Planet or to have people come and stay to write for Lonely Planet are in there. The cheapest places aren't in there. You have to go there and visit them. The cheapest places don't have websites. You need to go there and see them for yourself.
And also bloggers like us write about these places because we want to share it with people like you. So I think if you don't want to just show up at a place and find accommodations when you get there, you're someone who likes to plan a little bit ahead, I'd say start looking for bloggers who have been to those destinations that you are heading to and see where they've stayed, because we write about our experiences and we share these, like the amounts of money we spent, and we'll answer any of your questions. But if there's a place you want to head to that's like on your bucket list that may cost a little bit more when it comes to daily expenses, you can always find ways to budget still, like couch surfing. So if you're doing couch surfing, you cut the cost of accommodations because couch surfing is free. They're travelers opening up their homes and opening up a room for you to spend a night or spend two nights or even a week sometimes. And that's it for this video. If you have a travel question that you want answered, leave them in the comment box below. You can tweet us, you can Facebook us, you can Instagram comment us. All the links are in the description box below to all of our social media platforms. And we will see you next time. Happy travels!
See you later!